Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason, I'm your watch guy today, and we are at the end of another year. Yes, it is New Year's Eve. Tomorrow will be 2022, and we've had a better year than 2020, I'll say that much, I think. Probably. COVID's still really annoying, isn't it? But anyway, I thought I'd round this year off with a top and bottom 5 of 2021. So I'm going to highlight my 5 lowest points of 2021 and then my 5 top points. I thought it'd be a nice little recap of the year, I guess. I'll put all the links up there. I forget which side it is. Whichever side it is. I'll link the videos that relate to the topic and you can go and have a look at them and maybe fondly remember 2021 as we move into a new year. So, we're going to start with the bottom 5 because, you know, let's end on a high, start on a low, I guess. So my number 5 was destroying my boss's watch. Now, in hindsight, this could have gone in either side of the list because it actually made for a really great video. And it was the first video where I really got to like go real world, I guess. And I did a few nice little shots in work and stuff like that. And Steve was in the video and, you know, he got angry at me. That was fun. So if you didn't see this video, I was asked to help my boss asked me to help him with a watch that he built. He couldn't cut the stem to size and he wanted a Cyclops remover on it. And I ended up melting the watch. I did fix it in the end, I fixed it for him. And really, that's what matters. But it did give my modding or watch capability ego a nice big smack in the you know. So yeah, that was a really fun point of 2021. Number 4 was a really, really annoying one for me. The Zenith El PRIMERO Chronosport. It's an absolutely beautiful watch. It's around £8 so it best be beautiful for that price, and it plays in the Daytona range. Now when I say that, I mean it plays in the retail of the Daytona range. Now a lot of reviewers that are in the higher end of the market, you know, the people that have skin in the game with Rolex, were very critical of this release. Adrian from Bark and Jack, I thought his video was half decent, to be fair. Now the one thing that I didn't agree with was that this was a homage of the Daytona. I thought that was an absolutely ridiculous view. Just because you put a ceramic bezel onto a chronograph does not make it a copy of a Daytona. It doesn't. Just doesn't. After Adrian's video, there was the Time Teller who also made a video on this, defending Adrian. Fair enough, the pals, I guess. Yeah, Adrian got a lot of stick in his comment section. I made a comment too. I was a lot more gentle than most of them, to be fair. Now, the one that really got to me was Paul Thorpe, who is an absolute... I'll reserve my thoughts on him because I just think he's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's obviously got lots of skin in the game when it comes to Rolex, and that's why his opinions are the way that they are. I feel like he makes the same bloody video every 2 days. I've got a lot of opinions on Paul Thorpe. So yeah, that was one of the more annoying videos that I made this year because it was the first one that actually made me react to something on YouTube, which isn't really my style, and even more so it made me react in a way that was like, well, what are you playing at? Stop being gimps. You don't like the watch, don't buy the watch. That's it. So yeah, I'm glad to leave that one behind. Now number 3 in the list is probably a downside for all of us this year. Quite frankly, it was one of the most annoying parts of, well, kind of the AliExpress market, but it also affected some other brands also, especially ones using the NH35 movement and ones that couldn't justify using the NH35 movement for the price that they were selling watches at. I'm talking about the NH35 shortage. You'll have all heard me sprout off about it. Companies started using the MIYOTA 8215 instead, and I hate that movement. It is so inferior to pretty much most of the things on the market, especially the things coming out of Japan. Now, that's not a a jab at MIYOTA themselves, because they do make some fantastic movements, especially in the 9000 series. The 8215 just isn't the one. Even the 821A, I mean, that's a massive step above it. It has a hollowed rotor, so the wobble is minimized, and it also has hacking, so it's a modern movement. But yeah, the 8215 has really annoyed me this year. I've got loads of watches that I really like on the outside, but they've got 8215 in it, it just really F's me off. Yeah, that was an annoyance. Number 2 is a little bit of a strange one. Now, number 2 is the Rolex series. If you have watched the channel for any amount of time, you'll know that I have been doing £100 for a Rolex series. I'll buy a watch, sell a watch, buy a watch, sell a watch, put the profit into the next one, and we're building up to a Rolex. Now, I went on a few hiatuses through this year, not doing the videos, and I really wanted to get it finished this year, and I haven't managed to, so that is definitely one of the bigger downsides of this year, or the bigger disappointments of this year. Now, the series is ongoing and it's moving at a much healthier rate than it has been, so hopefully we will be getting somewhere with it very shortly. There's still more that I need to update you on, and I will be in the new year, very early on in the new year obviously, and hopefully we'll be making a lot of progress on that. So that's more of a self-critique, I guess, because I know that you guys love the videos, I love making them, and I love the process of it. It seems like a lot of things just get in the way sometimes, so I'm really sorry for that. Now, for number 1 on the list, I have a prop, and it's a watch. So this watch was delivered to me this year. I actually paid for this watch. It was a Kickstarter. I think I paid around £250, maybe £200, somewhere around that type of range. And it was from a company that I reviewed last year. You may remember them, DAILOS. Now, DAILOS basically, well, they came out with this watch. It's the WAVEFORM. They came out with this SKX sort of style, 38 or 40 mil. It's a 40 mil. Really lovely dials, fully titanium, including the bezel. And I thought they were fantastic. They just had one problem, and it was the bezel. The bezel had so much play in it, it was ridiculous. But I spoke to the owner of DAILOS, I spoke to the guy who was making these watches, and he assured me 100% that this problem would be fixed. And so I pledged me money. Why not? I thought I'll treat myself, I'll buy myself something nice. And then me and everyone else who bought one waited and waited and waited, and it got to a point where it was getting a bit silly. I messaged them and he said, yeah, they're coming out the next 2 weeks. So I thought, great, another 2 weeks, I can deal with that. And then the dispatch notices came in. So great, everyone's getting the watch, fantastic. And then he made a post on the page, on the DAILOS page, that said that they hadn't been able to fix the bezel to the point that they wanted, and there may be a fix for this in the future. No good to me, that, is it? Quite frankly, it's a joke. I am going to get a little bit off the... I'm going to get into a little bit of a rant here, because genuinely I've been holding this in for about half a year. I decided not to make a video on it because I don't like to just absolutely trash brands. It's not really me, unless they do something that really deserves it. And DAILOS have done that. So let me just see that play. Absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, it was just like, I was looking forward to this watch so much. You'll know yourself how it feels when you've backed a watch on Kickstarter. This was the first watch that I backed on Kickstarter, by the way. The first one that gave me all the faith and really made me think, I want that watch in my collection. And this is what turned out from it. Now, this isn't a don't do Kickstarter watches, because I have had so many in that have been absolute successes. And I've even had brands back on this year that I've reviewed last year. I've had brands that have brought out like 4 watches since their first Kickstarter, and they've gone from strength to strength. This is not don't buy these watches. This can happen. And yeah, DAILOS really let me down with this. Now, I made a video later on in the year from Trafford Watch Co, which was how to start a watch brand, because they did everything right. They funded themselves on Kickstarter, which is a popular way to do it nowadays, and everything that they promised, they came through with, and it was an amazing watch at the end of the day. And it's still sat in my collection. I wear it every now and then, and I enjoy wearing it, and that's what you're meant to do with a watch. I haven't worn this. I sized it, and then I just thought, you know, it's not even worth it. So I contacted the brand afterwards and I asked for a fix, and they said, yeah, we're gonna provide a fix soon. I mean, we're half a year down the line, so we can guess that that's not happening. And I just feel like I've wasted 200 and something quid on this one. I really do. I was gonna make a video of the full story and a full in-depth, like, cautionary tale, I guess, video of this, and maybe at the end of it a fix to it for everyone that's bought one. So if you'd like to see that type of thing, or if you'd like to see that video produced, please do let me know in the comments and I will work on that. The reason that I haven't done it is nothing to do with the loyalty to the brand, because I have zero, absolutely zero. This is never a brand that I will deal with again, and in fact it's also the brand owner. I will never ever work with him again. Like, factually, it's not going to happen. You will never see this brand on my channel again. You will never see a watch from that watchmaker on my channel again. Factual. The reason I didn't make that video is because every time I picked this watch up, it just kind of made me feel a bit, you know, that word about watch collecting. It made me feel let down. Yeah. So if you'd like to see me produce that video, then leave me a comment. Let me know that that's the type of content that you want to see, and I will work on that in the new year. Finally, we are on to the top 5 moments from this year, and genuinely these are going to be so much nicer to get through. Now, starting off the top 5 is MICROBRANDS returning, and from that I mean the brands that I reviewed earlier in the year, or last year when I first started, coming back, show me what they've got this year, show me their new model from this year, and really reintroducing themselves to you guys and myself. And a few of them have done that recently and throughout the year, actually. We had Mass from Australia, Matthew and Son, absolutely fantastic watchmakers. We had RZE, we had Galvin Watch Co, we had the guys at Radcliffe. More recently we had MMI. We've had loads, absolutely loads of them. It's really nice to see that microbrand world growing and building themselves into fully fledged brands. I mean, RZE, for example, Travis behind RZE is absolutely fantastic, and he knows exactly what he's doing running a watch brand. Really does. Every time that they send me a watch, it's better than the last one, but the last one was great too, if you get what I mean. It's always improving, but every time that I pick up any of their watches, it's enjoyable. And it's really nice to see them developing themselves into like a full brand. They've got 4 models now, I think, and I'm sure there's more on the way. I'm not the brand owner, but it really does make me feel kind of proud of these companies in a weird way. Number 4 was bucket list reviews. Now, last year, or the end of last year, I hinted that I wanted to review certain brands in the new year. 3 of them, well, 3 watch brands, well, we can probably say 4, because I wanted to review St. Martin too. So 3 out of the 4 I ticked off. So St. Martin, I reviewed their Seamaster 300 Homage. Absolutely fantastic watch. And I've got another St. Martin coming onto the channel very soon. It's the Grand Seiko Homage that's being lent to the channel by the Watcher. So thanks very much for that. It is absolutely fantastic that you've helped me out like that. Really do appreciate it. If you haven't seen his channel, go check it out. He does some absolutely fantastic mod videos. They're my favourites from him, as well as the reviews. The reviews are great, but I just love a mod video. I bought a Zelos, which I was able to review, and Phoebus, one of the brands I also mentioned, sent me in a watch to keep for myself. That was absolutely amazing. That was a real weird moment for me because this was one of those brands that I watch people like Jody review and just sit there and thought to myself, if I can get to a point where I'm reviewing that brand and that brand want me to review them, this is a success. So that was really special for me. The other brand, however, was Boulder. For some reason, they don't really want to communicate with me. I've tried, but yeah. So that is what it is. I'll take the wins. I'll take the wins with the losses, I guess. Number 3 on the list, I visited MOSSLEY Cash Emporium. It's run by a friend of mine called Pete, and he let me review a ROLEX Yachtmaster Rhodium that they had in, and it was absolutely like beyond beautiful. It was out of this world. Now, it is still to this date the most expensive watch that I've reviewed on the channel. It was also very, very nice going to visit the store, see Pete, see his family, you know, talk to them, see how it runs, talk to his customers too. That was really lovely. Yeah, he's got a really fantastic business there. Now, unfortunately, he has had a bit of an issue lately. They had a break-in and they absolutely destroyed the shop. So he is in a rebuilding period at the moment. So I'm sure if you could go and show him some love on Facebook, he'd really, really appreciate that. He's just a fantastic guy that's just trying to build himself his own little piece of the pie, if you get what I mean. And some people in the world are horrible. And, you know, these things happen. And Pete will definitely bounce back, and hopefully I'll be able to go and visit them in the new year again and see what they've got in and get a few more reviews out for you guys. And maybe even have a little sit down with them and, you know, talk watches. That'd be really nice. Now, for number 2 on the list, I have another prop. This one was one of the more touching videos that I got to make this year. And strangely enough, that's because of something that the brand did for me that I didn't really expect. Now, MALM are a brand I've had on twice on the channel. I reviewed 2 of their watches and I'm hoping to review more in the new year. Watch out for them. But they told me that they wanted to show off their engraving service, which was really nice because I thought that's, you know, a nice touch. And they were going to let me keep the watch, and it was quite early on where a lot of brands were still a bit iffy about that type of thing. So they really put a lot of faith in me from the get-go, which was really nice. I mean, these guys were loaning me watches when I had like 500 subscribers, and they were loaning me €600 watches. So they've always showed a lot of support to the channel, and that was obviously really a special relationship that I had. But they produced this for me. I know it's only the logo etched onto the back of a watch. I mean, the watch is absolutely fantastic too. This is their DALTON 2. Absolutely beautiful pilot watch inspired by Swedish aviation. Just a little plug there. You have to, don't you? But yeah, they inscribed the channel logo onto the back of the case back for me. And genuinely, like, it just proper hit the emotions when I actually unwrapped it, because I don't know, it just made all of this like real, I guess. It was like, yeah, it was just a very special moment this year for me. And I said this in the video, and I think they were kind of surprised that I had this much of a connection with this watch. But I said, this is something that I'll keep in my collection until I'm older, and it's probably something that I'll pass down to my son, because it's now a piece that's got a bit of history, a bit of my history in it. And that's one of the most special things about watches, in my opinion. I think really that's one of the biggest reasons that I enjoy watches so much, because they become these little things that tell a story about us, or these things that are passed down through generations that are really special to the predecessor, but even more special to the person that receives it. It's just a fantastic hobby, to be fair. That's why I really, really do love them. And that's going to be one for my family to cherish, I guess. So again, I've already said it a multitude of times, and I've already spoke to Mom about some plans for the new year. But thank you very much for that, because it's a very special piece to me now. So thanks, Mom. Finally, my top moment of the year, and you probably guessed this one because, well, who wouldn't have? It's obviously my crowning achievement of the year. this channel's crowning achievement of the year. And well, I've actually got it on wrist right now. I titled the video, "The GRAIL watch that your support bought." And it was. This is my Omega Speedmaster. It's the Moon watch. It is the Speedmaster Professional 2017. It's an absolutely beautiful watch. That case back is just as fantastic as any that I've seen. It's just, yeah. So this is and has been for some time my GRAIL piece. And I genuinely never thought that I'd get to this point in my 20s. Like, I thought that this was something that I'd have to work a lifetime towards attaining, because they're not cheap things to buy. They're not things that people of my demographic pick up every single day. It's something that you don't really see, and that's why it was kind of a dream for me to pick one of these up, and you guys really did make it happen. I bought this watch with all the money that I hadn't spent from the AliExpress links that you guys use in so many of my videos, and I'd saved it all up for the entire time that I was doing it. Obviously, this channel wasn't cheap to run while I was doing that, by no means, but I did it because I thought this isn't really money that I need. You know, I work like everyone else. I get up in the morning, go to work, and that's how I earn my money. This is not how I earn my money. This is something that I do because I really enjoy it. So I thought, if I put it away, it'd be nice if I could buy myself something special. And I thought, again, that'd be something way down the line, or something like, you know, one of the higher end Seikos, something like that. Maybe an automatic tag. You know, I never thought that I'd be buying myself an Omega Speedmaster with that money. But, you know, between the content that I made and the sport that you showed, we all made it happen, didn't we? And yeah, it was just honestly an absolutely unbelievable feeling to bring it home, put it on wrist. Well, bring it home, show my girlfriend, show my son, who genuinely didn't understand what was happening. And even after that, like, taking it into work the next day, show everyone what I bought, and show me nan, show me dad, my mum. My mum's dad had an Omega Seamaster, a hand-wind one, and honestly, it's something that she's told me about since I was little. This watch that she'd played with on her dad's wrist when she was, you know, a child, and that type of story really does stick with you, doesn't it? And yeah, it was just amazing to be able to buy this for myself and really, yeah, just enjoy it, I guess. It's something that I'll enjoy for the rest of my life. And again, you guys made that happen, so thank you so much. Well, guys, that's it. How about you tell me what your favourite part of 2021 was? Obviously, it hasn't been the best year with everything that's going on in the world, that's still going on in the world. Hopefully, 2022, we'll see the back of that. So, tell me what your favourite part of 2021 was. Tell me what you want to see in 2022, and maybe even tell me your favourite watches that you've bought this year, favourite watches that you've seen this year, favourite releases. Leave me a comment in the comment section, and obviously I'll get back to you like I always do. Thank you for watching this one, guys. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one. I'll see you in the next year. Yeah.
My phone hurts.
Come here.
Look.
Is that better?
Look.
I'm not kissing your bum.
Why?
Because I'm not. If I let you say hello, will you go to bed? See, my name's Alfie.
My name is Humphrey.
Right there. Yeah, into this. Say it into the microphone. My name's Alfie.
My name is Humphrey.
Say Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Good boy. Come on. Bedtime.
I'm gonna put this on the table now.
Yeah, it's in the video. You're in the video too.